Warning, this video contains tons of flashing light. If you have epilepsy or are prone to seizures, please be aware of the risks before proceeding. Hey guys, this is Zero, and welcome to another episode of Plug and Play, a new series from River City Gamers where we look at video game accessories and oddware. And today, let's talk about hip gear. For those of you who weren't aware, Hip Gear was a brand of third-party accessories by Toronto-based company Hip Interactive. They started publishing console games and releasing gaming accessories such as controllers, headsets, and even console screen attachments in the early 2000s. Unfortunately, in 2005, they filed for bankruptcy and ceased all production on new products and games. Even though the company was short-lived, they did produce many popular products such as the wireless Xbox controllers and gun cons. Gun con was a light gun accessory for the PlayStation developed by Namco. It was made to replicate the guns found on arcade machines as a way to bring rail shooters to the home market. Gun con would go on to have versions for PS2 and PS3 before being replaced by the PlayStation Move in 2010. Gun cons worked the same as older console light guns, but at a much faster and accurate rate. They use the catheter ray timing method to determine where the gun is aimed on the screen, similar to how the Super Scope worked. However, it makes up for the lack of sensor unit by having an AV adapter that is attached to the gun and acts as the physical connection between the gun and the TV. It used the interlaced video signal to help determine motion and where to aim. This is also the reason why light gun games do not work on most LCD TVs, as they output the signal to progressive, which confuses the gun. In any case, the gun con was popular among arcade shooter fans, even with its lack of compatible software. In fact, most people got the gun con because it came bundled with Time Crisis, a popular arcade rail shooter that was ported to the PlayStation in 1997. Now as for Hip Gear's gun con, well, it's unclear what year it came out, but I assume it was shortly after Time Crisis 2 came out in 2001 for the PS2. What's special about my Hip Gear gun con is it actually has compatibility for both Gun Con 1 and 2 games. Allow me to explain. The original gun con used the PlayStation's controller port. When the Gun Con 2 came out, it used the PS2's USB port. Now, because of this, many Gun Con 2 games do not support the original Gun Con controller. However, since both the Gun Con 1 and Gun Con 2 had the same setup, it was easy for Hip Gear to make a gun con compatible with both types of gun con games. Now, I got this gun con used with a copy of Time Crisis 2, back when EB Games still sold PS2 games. Before we get into the games, let's talk more about the gun. The controller comes with a trigger, A and B buttons located on each side of the barrel for reloading or strafing depending on the game, a C button located underneath the handle, which I have yet to see be used in a game, as well as start and select buttons on the left side, which also don't seem to do much. There is also a D-pad on the back which can be used for easy reloading in certain games. On the right side of the gun there are several switches. First is the mode the gun is in, which can be switched between Gun Con 1, Gun Con 2, or normal mode. I'm not exactly sure what normal mode is, maybe to function as a normal controller? Also, there's an option to turn on recoil, which the chamber moves like it would when a real gun is fired. Score one for realism, I guess. Now, the best features of this gun is it has auto-fire, auto-reload, and auto-fire with auto-reload options. Think of it as a turbo button, but able to do both functions all at once. It works differently based on the game, but for the most part, it's more comfortable than constantly pressing the trigger. Now on to the games. To start off, let's talk about a few PS1 games I tried in Gun Con 1 mode. First, there's Elemental Gearbolt, a very fun and rare rail shooter for the PS1. The game runs very smoothly and has virtually no issues with calibration or lag. The game also has great depth-to-gun mechanics, as you can shoot enemies from very far away with great accuracy. Using the auto-fire feature with this gun works perfectly and responds well. However, this game has auto-reload, so using the auto-reload feature on the gun changes the type of ammunition you're using, so I don't recommend using it. You have 3 different guns to choose from, but I mostly use the default gun as it's fairly effective against most enemies. I won't go into too much depth on this game as the Happy Video Game Nerd already covered it in his review of the game. I just want to show you how well the Hip Gear gun con works with this game, and it's perfect. I recommend this game if you can find it. Next up is a game that 2 members of River City Gamers have already reviewed, Resident Evil Survivor. However,
failing that, you could always use the gun con support for Survive. Oh, wait, no, you can't. You see, the Japanese and the PAL versions of Survivor have gun con support, but the North American version does not. Why?
And it's because of this, I'll be playing the Japanese version, Biohazard Gun Survivor. For starters, this game has English text and Japanese subtitles for English voiceovers. Navigating through the menu shouldn't give you much issue, so no knowledge of the Japanese language is required. However, the real problem with the gun con support is the controls. Moving is based on the trigger. You can move forward by holding the trigger, and pressing and holding the trigger moves you backwards. You move left and right with the A and B buttons, and pressing them together brings up the menu. Movement is simple enough, but as soon as you get to your first zombie, you realize you can't shoot it. Even though the gun has calibrated properly with the TV, pressing the trigger only moves you. At first I thought maybe you need to press a button because in controller mode, you need to press R1 to enter gun mode. However, the unused buttons, that being start, select, and C, do nothing. So unfortunately, I was unable to get the shooting to work in both the Japanese and PAL versions of the game. This could be due to the fact that I'm not using an official gun con, or my TV didn't calibrate properly with the gun, but for whatever reason, the gunplay doesn't work. Last for the PlayStation 1 games, but certainly not least, the original Time Crisis. Time Crisis is classic arcade rail shooting at its finest, and if you haven't played this or one of its sequels, well then you probably haven't been to an arcade since the 80s or were born too late. Being a part of an arcade game, the gameplay is based on skill, accuracy, and speed, and for the most part, the Hip Gear GunCon does this slice of arcade goodness right. Calibration with the game is very good, though for the game that came packed with the original GunCon, I expect nothing less. The GunCon controls are a little clunky at first, but once you get used to them, it will feel natural. In the arcade version, you have a pedal you press to reload. Here you gotta hold the A and B buttons. At first I found this a pain to do, however there is an option to switch it to reloading on press rather than release. And hey, if you switch to this mode and turn on the auto reload on the gun, you can play the game without pressing the button. This game also works well with the auto fire feature, so I recommend using both. The one issue I have with this game, and this may vary based on your setup, is that the enemies on the far left and at the top of the screen were a pain to hit. I'll admit I may not have been perfectly centered, and it could be, again, my gun or TV, but it was an issue and it cost me time. However, Time Crisis includes a special mode with tons of lives, so if you're having trouble with the arcade mode, try this special mode as it's really fun and exclusive to the PlayStation version. All in all, Time Crisis is the must-have title for GunCon fans. Okay, that's 3 games for the PS1. Well, 2 of 3 games. Let's move on to the PS2. Now before I start with the PS2, I must apologize. I was unable to capture footage via the capture card, as the GunCon did not function properly when trying to capture from the PS2. I'm not exactly sure, but it could be because I was using splitter cables, which can cause harder interlacing, and the GunCon 2 is very specific about interlacing. So I apologize in advance for the sideways camera to TV footage you're going to be seeing. Now with that out of the way, let's take a look at the sequel, Time Crisis 2. Time Crisis 2 is my personal favorite of the Time Crisis series. It ups the ante in many areas, and is the right kind of upgrade from its predecessor. Unfortunately, it doesn't translate well to the Hip Gear GunCon. First off, with GunCon 2 mode, I had to sit closer to the TV. With the PS1 games, I could sit a few meters away from my TV, but for the GunCon 2, I had to sit about a meter away. For you American folk, that's about a 3 to 9 foot difference. Also, the calibration was not as smooth as the PS1, meaning that problem with shooting guys off to the left and the top was a minor annoyance in the first Time Crisis is nearly impossible in Time Crisis 2. Hell, I've had to get the gun nearly touching the TV in order to hit some of these guys. Another difference is while the options to use auto fire and auto reload work the same, it's not quite as effective here. This could be a design choice as the rapid fire that auto fire provides in the first game is crazy fast. Maybe the game designers recognized this and decided to add buffers so that it wouldn't be so easy. Regardless, this game plays just fine, but it's more fun in the arcades. I only recommend this one if you have an official GunCon 2 or you're a hardcore fan of Time Crisis like myself. Moving on to Time Crisis 3. Why won't it work? That might be why. Well, this one's not gonna work. Well, that was quick. Let's just move on to our last game. Finally, we have Ninja Assault, another rail shooter from Namco. This game offers the most content of all of the GunCon games so far, as you can play each of the 3 character stories or play arcade mode. Ninja Assault is a very fast-paced game with enemies running rampant all over the screen, even quicker than they did in Elemental Gearbolt. Enemies are less likely to be stationary bullet sponges like in Time Crisis. Because of this, any calibration issues caused by enemies too far off the screen were not as common. Ninja Assault was also developed way later than the Time Crisis game, so they probably designed the enemies this way to work within the limitations of the GunCon. This game also gives you a health bar instead of one-hit lives, and special attacks in the form of ninjutsu. To reload, you shoot off screen, much like many arcade rail shooters that use a handgun setup. Putting the gun in auto-fire mode works very well and fast. However, using it with auto-reload tends to reload before the end of your clip, so I recommend not using that feature on the gun. Put it simply, Ninja Assault is the best GunCon game I own, though it is more difficult. So what are my thoughts on the Hip Gear GunCon? It's pretty awesome. The fact that it works with both GunCon 1 and 2 games, and has auto-fire and auto-refill options on it, that's pretty awesome. Though because Hip Interactive went under back in 2005, getting this particular model is a little harder to find. But GunCons are fairly common. You can get official Namco GunCons, 1 and 2 each, for about $30 or less. The games, however, that's a mixed bag. Most GunCon games, like the Time Crisis series, only cost $20 or less. However, games like Elemental Gearbolt, they're fairly rare and will cost you quite a bit of money. Keep in mind, I'm limited in what I can review, and I don't want this review to go on forever. Just one more thing. With light gun technology being the way it is, why haven't any of these games been put on either the PlayStation Store using the Move or the Wii Virtual Console? The modding community has proved that you can use the Wiimote as a replacement for a light gun, if programmed properly. So why haven't these been ported over to the Virtual Console? Maybe it's costly to reprogram old games? I don't know. But regardless, GunCon collecting is fairly easy and cheap if you want to start collecting for this type of accessory. Anyways guys, I'm Zero, thanks for watching Plug and Play, and I'll see you next time. Hey guys, thanks for watching my Hip Gear GunCon review for Plug and Play. It would really help me out if you go to my YouTube channel, Zeromaster Reviews, and subscribe. Follow my Facebook, Zeromaster fan page, and follow me on Twitter at Zeromaster. As well as check out my section on rivercitygamers.wordpress.com for more great reviews. And hey, you can check out the previous episode of Plug and Play here on the screen. You can also check out more stuff from me. Here's one of my other reviews that I'm also putting up here on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to River City Gamers and Zeromaster Reviews. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. I just got a DM from Mew, who overslept. I don't know what's happening. I guess we're going to be playing, but... oh, excuse me. Okay. Well, in the meantime, we're going to do some Honkai Star Rail while we wait for that. All right. Yeah. Mew's overslept and is just setting things up, and then we'll switch over to that. But for now, we're doing some honk honk. So let me just go to the stream screen and let me unmute this. I can do this. Okay. Let's see. March to master. Okay. So we gotta do this first. Okay.
Do you want to enter the Forgotten Hall? Do you want to enter the Forgotten...
So? No, I don't want to enter the Forgotten Hall. I want to go over here.
Phew.
What's up, Pom-Pom?
Just got a message from the Xianzhou La Fu. Looks like it'll conflict with our original schedule.
It's been a while, my friends on the Astral Express. How's your trailblazing expedition going? Soon, the Xianzhou Luofu will be holding the Luminary War Dance. Those who have aided the Luofu in overcoming the crisis are cherished allies of the Xianzhou. Thus, on behalf of the Seat of Divine Foresight, I'm extending an invitation to attend the ceremony.
Okay.
Your presence would be greatly appreciated.
Well, things are getting lively. We've barely recovered from the family's Charmony Festival, and we're already being invited to another special event.
Why not think about it this way? Our trailblazing expeditions are turning into blast expeditions, where we eat, drink, and play wherever we go. Blast? Expedition? Yeah! Wherever we go, we eat, play, and have a blast!
So we should leave March behind to take care of the express?
Hey! That's not what I meant! I'm all for some fun. I just hope there won't be any surprise party crashers, like Friday or Saturday.
The Xianzhou Luofu has recently overcome a crisis. By holding the war dance, they're demonstrating to everyone that they've returned to a state of peace and safety.
But that's what everyone said before we went to Penacony. You'll be totally safe under the family's protection.
No need to worry. The war dance is not like the Charmony Festival with all its hidden secrets. It's just a festival to honor the Rainbow Arbiter and the Cloud Knights, who fought against the abominations of abundance and protected the Xianzhou ships. Aside from star skiff performances, it's mostly martial contests. Nothing too different from the Taiki and Roboball contest we've seen before.
What do you think, Himiko? Since we've accepted Miss Black Swan's proposal, we should probably head to Amphorius for refueling.
There's certainly no rush. This trailblazing expedition is quite unique, and the Express needs to be fully stocked and prepared before moving on to the next stop. With Madame Harda's help, I was planning to deliver some Leviathan fossils from Kalinga Abyss to Ron May, member 81 of the Genius Society. It could earn us some favors before we set off. However, it may take a few weeks.
Aw, so that means we're not going to the Luofu.
Being an adult means maintaining relationships, whether we like it or not, Marge. Since we've been invited, it's only right for the Astral Express to attend the ceremony. So, here's the plan. Pom Pom will take everyone to the Xianzhou Luofu. Mr. Yang and I will meet up with Ron May and fulfill our promise. Meanwhile, you, Marge, and Don Hung will represent the Express and attend the war dance.
What do you two think? I don't hear any objections.
Now that everyone's on board with the plan, it's time to warp to the Xianzhou Luofu.
All right. Excuse me.
Noise.
Noise. I wonder if she says that because of the meme. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
Kalinga Abyss? What does she expect to find there? Current research on the Leviathan merely proves how little we know about such life forms.
That's why geniuses are interested in that field. Science is all about uncovering the unknown. Don't miss us too much. If I stumble upon some cool Leviathan fossils, I'll bring a few back as souvenirs for you.
Himiko really knows how to convince people. Between Leviathan fossils and the war dance, the latter definitely sounds more fun. By the way, Don Hung, this time you'll be taking a stroll with us on the Luofu, right?
And just let you two wander around aimlessly on the Luofu by yourselves? I don't think so. Plus, Mr. Yang is right. The Ambrosial Arbor crisis just ended, and both the long life and short life species are still feeling uneasy. And that's why Jing Yuan wants to organize the war dance, to show that the Xianzhou Luofu is stable and safe. And since he has extended an invitation, it's only right that I visit my old friend.
But remember, you're Don Hung, not Don Fung.
Coming back to this place brings back so many memories, you know? Hey, I'm not actually gonna recite a poem. I was just thinking about all the twists and turns we went through when we first arrived on the Xianzhou. This time, we're not being forced or enticed. or chasing after wanted criminals. And we didn't have to sneak in through the cargo dock. This trip has been incredibly smooth.
Too
Quite
smooth, if you ask me.
unusual, I must say.
Mm.
I agree.
All their hands on their hips. All right.
Is the Starskiff Haven always this crowded? Oh, there's so many people here. I can barely hear anything.
Yanqing said General Jing Yuan sent him to welcome us. But
There we go.
Guys, hold on a moment. Did they just call us? Look at their outfits. They're from Penacony, right? Are you familiar with the Xianzhou Lafu?
We know a little bit about it. What do you need?
We're from Penacony. Maybe you've heard of it. We came to this ship to gather interesting materials for making dream bubbles.
Oh, we just left there. Oh, talk about coincidence.
That's great. Do you know any must-see attractions on the Luofu?
Exactly! We're Xianzhou experts. Most of the tourists around at the moment are here to attend the war dance. And that's why we're here too.
Yeah, we know about that ceremony. But isn't the fighting ring still closed?
I've heard the ring was actually converted from a huge decommissioned Luofu fighter jet. No doubt about it. It's a massive fighter jet. It's got to be larger than a civilian star skiff.
But for now, all we can do is wait until the war dance starts in a few weeks before we can board it.
Wait,
We still
is
got
this a
work to
tournament
do,
arc?
So we can't just sit around waiting for it to start. That's why we're asking you about some must-see attractions.
We're looking for unique experiences that you won't find on Penacony. Our clients love these kinds of dream bubbles the most.
You're the expert here. Give them some suggestions. Oh yeah! Fixtral Garden! It's famous for supernatural stuff. With those mischievous heliobi floating around. It's pretty fascinating.
Supernatural? I don't really like scary things, but our clients will love it.
Ooh, it does sound interesting. Let's go check out Fixtral Garden. Maybe we'll bump into each other there.
Look, Yanqing's here.
Really? Let's go catch up with him.
There you are! Everyone, this way! Hey, everyone. It's been a while.
It doesn't feel like it's been that long since we last saw you. But, Yanqing, are you?
What's up, Miss March?
They say kids grow up really fast. Yanqing, are you a little bit taller than before?
We've only been away for a few months.
Long time no see.
Hello! Welcome.
It's been a while.
Oh, you've come along too, Mr. Danheng. Sorry for the delay. With the upcoming war dance and the Starskiff Haven being so busy, things are a little hectic.
Seriously, I've never seen the Luofu so lively before.
I was a bit worried that holding the war dance right after the Ambrosial Arbor crisis might be too soon. But seeing the bustling Starskiff Haven, I understand why General Jing Yuan chose this timing.
Yep. There's people from other delves and travelers like you three who have come from afar. With the war dance coming up, there's a huge number of visitors pouring into the Starskiff Haven. the Cloud Knights are working hard to keep the security tight. The General said this ceremony would help the Xianzhou Luofu recover from the crisis. It's a way to showcase our martial spirit, reassure people, boost morale, and attract visitors from other planets to promote trade and peace. By the way, the Xianzhou Alliance places great importance on this ceremony too. The Xianzhou ships, the Zhuming and the Yaoqing, have both sent messengers to offer their blessings. Yeah,
Excuse me.
Xianzhou Yaoqing is a major force in hunting
So the
down
Doom's gonna have the
abominations,
same name.
and is
Honestly,
always
that's red.
engaged in conflicts across the cosmos. Although
It's funny. Yeah, a lot of people say that, but I've been using the username since
Madame Yukong from the Sky Trade
2002,
mentioned that the Yaoqing always sends back
2001.
reports of great victories,
I'm not very
which is
creative.
quite impressive.
I'm doing well. I'm doing
General
well.
Fei Xiao of the Yaoqing is a young and dauntless lady. My peers say that she's like a goddess of war, capable of crushing dozens of abominations with a single punch. I wonder if it's true. If only I could witness her prowess with my own eyes.
By
That'd
the
be a
way,
treat.
Yanqing, where are we headed next?
I'm sorry for talking your ear off. The General wants to catch up with you at the Palace of Astrum. He's been eager to hear about how the Express is.
It just kind of stuck, you know. I've been using it for so long.
It's funny how he tries to act all mature, but whenever it comes to something he's interested in, you can really see his childish side.
Yeah, dragons, but yeah. No, you got me beat.
I agree.
Uh-oh.
All units, assemble quickly. Get ready to protect the crowd.
I just mentioned security, and now all of a sudden something's gone wrong. Excuse me, I need to go check out the situation.
We're coming too.
Hey, what's that supposed to mean?
We'll go with you.
Oh shit, a cutscene?
Protect the civilians. I'll deal with him.
Okay, anyways, the mark can either enter moon rage to add when his attack apply one stack of bloodlust. Okay.
Borison? Why are there Borison here? This ends now.
Destiny isn't.
Oh damn it, that's not what I wanted to do. Why is it not giving me the buttons?
I'll see you off.
Why is it not switching to the attack?
Calibrating. Bloom. Support received.
I love Marge. She's so dumb. She's my favorite. She's dumb and cute.
Eternal sleep is not the dead return.
Listen to the resonate all together.
There we go. That's not what I meant to do, but okay.
Let's settle this.
Hit the wrong button.
Recalibrating.
She's like one of my favorites. She's like one of my tops. Waifus. Oh, this will finish him
I
off.
hope for an end to strife in the world.
What do you want to know?
Ill tidings manifest.
You chose the wrong enemy.
There we go. Could use an alt, but what is that supposed to mean? character. Oh, feet.
Thanks for the help.
Sorry, no time to chat. Could you give me back my...
He does have good waifu vibes. This, I want to get this new version of her.
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid we'll have to put our plans on hold for now. I need to find out what's going on.
All right, well.
While we appreciate your rescue, my Xianzhou friends, don't you think it's a bit too much to detain us and our cargo?
Sorry, but we've been ordered to detain you and your cargo for inspection until we figure out the source of the attack. Once we're done with the formalities, we'll let you and your cargo go.
Oh, but this shipment isn't even meant for the Luofu, and it's IPC's patented technology. Who do you think you are to conduct an inspection?
According to the protocol, all cargo arriving on the Luofu must go through inspection.
Oh, but we didn't officially enter your dock at all. We just sought refuge in your dock because we were attacked by the Borisons.
Looks like this argument could go on forever. Let's not get involved in a heated dispute that won't lead to a resolution.
Okay. These guys.
Who's in charge here? I need some answers.
It's my fault. We let our guard down for a moment.
I'll be right back. I'm just gonna go to the bathroom.
With the war dance approaching, safety should be a top priority. Now,
Perfect.
Tell me, how did Borisin prisoners end up in Starskiff Haven? According to the protocol, Borisin prisoners should be held on a starskiff and taken directly to the shackling prison under strict supervision without ever touching the ground. Who allowed a prisoner transport ship to dock at the passenger terminal?
Please don't blame this captain. This incident involves the Ming's diplomatic vessel.
Who are you?
I'm Liu Jun, an officer of the Patrol Defense Squad. Thank you for your help, Lieutenant Yanqing. The situation unfolded rapidly, and it shouldn't be held against the captain. Here's what happened. An IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin just before arriving, and the Ming's diplomatic vessel came to the rescue. They fought off the Borisin pirates and imprisoned them on their ship.
So, an IPC ship was attacked by the Borisin near the Luofu, and the Juming envoys saved them? Sounds complicated.
Honestly, it gives me a headache too. The Juming diplomatic ship, adhering to standard procedure, docked at the passenger terminal to hand these criminals over to the Luofu. You know, with all the outsiders flooding onto the Luofu, the Starskiff lanes are under immense pressure. The Borisin desperados decided to put up a fight before the prisoner transport Starskiff could get there. And that's what you just witnessed.
We'll make sure these prisoners are sent to the shackling prison as soon as possible.
I see. It's an unusual situation indeed. I'll report it to the security department of the Realm Keeping Commission and ask for their cooperation in handling the aftermath. Maybe I should gather more details from others so that the Seat of Divine Foresight can have a better understanding of the situation.
Alright, I'm back, and it looks like both the cutscene and the ad are done. I heard the cutscene because I'm wearing my wireless headphones.
Mature now, Yanqing.
Please don't tease me, Miss March. The situation on the Xianzhou before the war dance is like a calm lake that can be disturbed by even the smallest pebble, capable of generating far-reaching ripples with even the slightest disturbance.
Sounds like a wise old man.
What are those people? I mean, those monsters we just dealt with?
Yeah, those werewolf monsters are known as Borisin. They are abominations of abundance, and we've been fighting them for a very long time.
Yeah, mine cut out all the time.
The Borisin have been a powerful force for a long time.
Even when they're fully charged for, like, no
plundering
reason.
and enslaving many worlds. The threat they pose is just as terrible as the Swarm disaster. And the Alliance even had a fierce war with them 3 decades ago. Their presence has faded over the years. But who would have thought?
According to that officer, they attacked an IPC ship near the Senjo Luofu. Such a brazen attack seems quite unusual to me.
Yeah, that's what I find strange too. It seems like the IPC and the Borisin have some serious grudges. Well, enough with the chit-chat. The General wants me to take you to the Palace of Astrum. I'd love to chit-chat a little longer, but there are some things that can't be left unchecked.
I've got Sony PlayStation Golds, and they, for some reason, they do that. I don't know why.
Thank you, but it's no big deal. By the way, that young lady who just appeared, she took my sword. I'm thinking of filing a lost property report at the Realm Keeping Commission to see if I can get it back.
I doubt she did it on purpose.
Don't remind me. I just zoned out for a moment, that's all.
Excuse me.
All right, let's not keep the General waiting.
Don't worry. There aren't many people out there with that kind of talent. It shouldn't be too hard to find her.
That's for sure. Also, she has feet.
There sure are a lot of troublemakers around.
Why did it zoom in on Lejun's face? There's probably a reason for that.
Success and failure.
Nothing in this report makes sense.
That's Astrum.
It's been a long journey, Elder Hwayan. Thank you for your presence.
General, I brought our guests from the Express. Oh, I'm sorry for my bad timing. I didn't know you were meeting a guest, General.
Don't worry, you're just in time. It's been a while, my friends from the Astral Express.
Did you miss us?
Sure, how couldn't I have? It's not often we find such moments to reunite and enjoy one another's presence.
Since when did she and General Qing Yuan become such good buddies, Dan Heng? They seem to be having a great time.
A lot must have happened without our knowledge. At least, I hope that's the case.
Allow me to introduce you to General Hwayan. He's the Arbiter General of the Xianzhou Zhuming, known as the Flaming Heart.
No need to be so formal. I'm just a tourist here, no different from other tourists who've come to attend the ceremony.
Elder Hwayan is not only one of the Arbiter Generals, but also the Furnace Master of the Artisanship Commission. Besides his martial skills, he excels in forging various weapons. Such talents are unique, even among the Arbiter Generals.
Be it Arbiter General or Furnace Master, these are merely titles given to me long ago. I've retired several times already, but with the current change in circumstances, the Marshal has called me back to duty, and I had no choice but to answer the call.
Ghostbusters answered the call?
Well, in the end, I'm to blame. Living such a long life naturally brings its share of disapproval.
It's an honor to meet you, General Hwayan.
It's my honor to meet you. General YN?
To meet you, General.
No need to be all formal. Today I'm just a guest on the Lawfu, the same as all of you. So, these three are the ones you mentioned, Jingyuin? The heroes who helped you with the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
There's Dan Heng, March 7th, and her. Without their help, I'm afraid the Lawfu might not have easily overcome this crisis.
So, the Imbibitor Lune's reincarnation has returned to the Lawfu and will attend the war dance. I'd love to have a drink with you should the chance present itself.
You're more than welcome, General Huaiyan.
And this young friend is?
Yanqing, my apprentice. He remains by my side as my retainer due to his youth, which I hope will season him with experience. He will stand for the Lawfu's Cloud Knights in the upcoming war dance, ready to take on all
Hey, it's
kinds
her.
of challenges.
Great, great! It's a real treat to see so many talented young people around here today. Oh, I almost forgot. This is my apprentice, Yoon Lee.
It's you!
Oh, it's you. Hello.
Oh, you two already know each other? Guess we don't need any introductions then.
What a coincidence!
Be cute.
I was afraid I'd have trouble finding this girl.
Oh? Now you've piqued my curiosity. Tell me, how did you two become acquainted?
She helped me capture the escaped Borison prisoners at the Starskiff Haven. Allow me to express my gratitude for you. But when you left, you took my flying sword with you.
Your flying sword? Oh, so that's why I found a dagger in my bag. Turns out it's yours.
Yes, it is. Now that we've met again, I hope...
Nope, that won't do.
Won't do?
You want your sword back, right? Well, you can't just take it back. On the Juming, when you lose your sword on the battlefield, you have to reclaim it on the battlefield. As for this little sword, it was supposed to strike that escaped Borison prisoner. But unfortunately, its owner's agitated state caused it to fly off like a kite with a broken string, and it missed its target.
Wow, what a bitch.
By the way, if I hadn't caught it and helped it hit its mark, that Borison prisoner would have gotten away.
Hold on a sec, Yoon Lee. You took my sword without even asking, and now you're refusing to give it back?
So much for Lawfu's swordmasters.
What did you just say?
If you just stepped up and took your sword back from me fair and square, I would have totally respected you. But nope, you tried to play it down, expecting me to just hand it back to you like it's nothing. In front of everyone.
Yeah, you don't just take people's shit.
With all due respect, you don't honor your sword. So you don't deserve it.
Hasn't anyone told you that taking without asking is stealing? If you want to settle this with swords, fine. Let's have a one-on-one duel right now.
Yanqing.
Well, that's more like it. Just be careful. Because I'm not as easy to handle as the Borison.
You two, be quiet and apologize to Yanqing.
Hey! Whose side are you on, Grandpa?
I don't take sides.
It's a small misunderstanding, and an apology would be too much. I've heard about the Zhu Ming's incredible swordplay and craftsmanship. Most notably, the legendary Flame Wheel Octet. Seeing Miss Yoon Lee, who is among those ranks today, well, I must say, she definitely has that fiery edge.
Fiery-eyed Jay.
Such grandiose names. Some folks love to spin these fancy titles, trying to set the Cloud Knights apart. Yoon Lee is still just a young girl, a bit awkward and hot-tempered. So please forgive her if she's being rude.
Well, everyone, Elder Huayan and I have some business to discuss. For now, Yang Qing, why don't you entertain our guests and take Miss Yoon Lee to the inn? I'll find another chance to talk with you all. I'd like to express my gratitude to the Astral Express for helping the Law Fu during the crisis.
That's so kind of you. I mean, you've already thanked us so many times.
Please forgive me for coming at an inconvenient time.
You needn't apologize, General Huayan.
All right, Yoon Lee. Take this opportunity to clear things up with Yanqing.
Yeah. It's better to make friends than enemies. But I won't be heading to the inn just yet. I want to visit Lingsha. She just arrived in the Luofu and could use some help settling in.
Yang Qing, once you've helped our guests get settled, go to the Artisanship Commission for me. I've heard about the attack and the detainment of the IPC ship. Qingzu sent word that the IPC members are protesting and wish to have their cargo back. See if you can calm them down. Don't get aggressive. Just make it clear that the Xianzhou Law Fu has no intention of violating their rights.
I'm on it.
Alright. Well, we're being dragged along some more. I haven't been talked about for Castle Crashers yet, so they're probably still setting it up.
This is the report Qingzu just sent me. Let me take a look. Looks like the General has given me a tough challenge. He wants me to try and help put the IPC's mind at ease. Well, it's not exactly a test. As Cloud Knight officers, we not only learn the art of war and martial arts, but also occasionally have to handle diplomatic disputes. It's just,
Diplomatic mission.
Talking things out isn't as straightforward as duking it out with weapons on the battlefield. This is especially true when you're up against the IPC, with their non-stop corporate babble. Well, let's not worry about that for now. Shall I take you to the inn?
Let's go.
It is the Law Fu's honor to have you in attendance at the war dance. Yet, the fact that a simple martial arts ceremony has attracted esteemed generals from the Zhu Ming and the Yao Qing implies intentions beyond mere spectating. Might there be any specific instructions from the Marshal?
You're overthinking it, Jingyuan. As I said, I'm here to broaden my granddaughter's horizons. I have no ulterior motives. However, I have no clue what the Yao Qing Arbiter General has in mind. Do you remember when you accepted this position? I told you that an Arbiter General's battlefield goes beyond the physical one. You'll need to lead and manage everything on the Xianzhou. The title of Arbiter General holds a weight far greater than its literal meaning. So many years have passed, and you've done well. However, longevity for the Xianzhou people can be a curse. Living too long means that every mistake you made will lurk in the shadows. And one day, they'll eventually catch up to you.
He has such sad eyes.
The Marshal knows everything that has happened on the Luofu. As for the Merlin's Claw of the Yao Qing, she has come specifically for you.
Damn, everybody wants up in his grill.
Why hasn't she arrived yet? They say the Merlin's Claw strikes like lightning, Being late isn't her style.
That's not true, General Huayan. She's been here a while, but I'm sure you've heard of her unbridled nature.
As soon as she disembarked from the star skiff, she mentioned having something to attend to and simply disappeared.
You must be the messengers from the Xianzhou Yaoqing, I assume.
We are Jiaoqiu and Moza, retainers of the Merlin's Claw. It's an honor to meet you in person, Arbiter Generals.
Now this is interesting. A guest who doesn't come to visit but sends a message instead. What does she mean? Tell me, what could be more important to her than coming here?
Master heard about a spectacular view in Scale Gorge Waterscape. I believe she went there to enjoy it.
A spectacular view? Ha! Did you hear that, Jingyuan? This person is being sarcastic.
Please do not misunderstand me, General Huayan. I was simply stating the truth. Master thought it would be inappropriate to keep you waiting, so she sent us here. Once she's finished with admiring the scenery, she'll personally come and apologize to the both of you.
Okay.
Drat. I forgot to ask Yun Li to return my sword. No need to bother. The Juming envoys won't be leaving the Luofu anytime soon. I'll ask for it later when we meet again. By the way, I don't know if it's just me, but the general seemed a little reserved. Could it be because of Elder Huayan's visit?
Seemed fine to me.
Reserved? Really?
Maybe I'm just overthinking things.
Probably.
No, you're not.
What?
When I entered the Palace of Astrum, I realized that the messenger from the Xianzhou Juming was actually the Arbiter General himself. So, the messenger from the Xianzhou Yaoqing must be the Merlin's Claw herself, I presume.
That's right.
Well, that's what makes this entire thing so unusual.
What's so unusual about it? They simply received an invitation from Jingyuan, just like the crew, right?
The war dance is just a small festival. And now we have 2 Arbiter Generals from other Xianzhou ships here. I'm afraid they're here for something more. Maybe they've come to hold Jingyuan accountable for the Ambrosial Arbor crisis?
Hold him accountable? Come on, didn't the Luofu fall victim to the disciples of Sanctus Medicus and the Antimatter Legion? Why would they blame the victim?
Don Shu's rebellion and Ventilia's scheming are merely one side of the story to the other Arbiter Generals of the Alliance. Only a single piece of incontrovertible evidence remains, creating an endless source of potential complications.
The Ambrosial Arbor.
Yes. It's undeniable that the Plague Mark, which was subdued by the Xianzhou Luofu, has resurfaced. But was it really a conspiracy instigated by the Antimatter Legion? Or does it indicate a traitorous intent from within the Luofu, implicating Jingyuan himself? Once the spark of suspicion is kindled, it proves hard to extinguish. The General must have had that in mind when he invited us to attend the war dance.
What was I thinking? Seriously, here I was looking forward to a carefree and enjoyable trip. But it seems wherever we go, drama is just around the corner.
Aw, I was so excited. I thought those Arbiter Generals were just here to see the ceremony. By the way, I heard that an alchemist from the Juming diplomatic ship has arrived. And rumors say that she's to be the new Cauldron Master of the Alchemy Commission on the Luofu.
An alchemist from the Zhu Ming serving as the Cauldron Master on the Luofu? While it's not unheard of, the timing itself...
Thanks to your words, Mr. Dan Heng. Now I finally see the underlying tensions. The General is under tremendous pressure right now, but I was completely oblivious to his troubles. How naive of me.
Come on, don't think like that. Leave the adult matters to the adults. Even if you wanted to do something for the General, it's not like you can do anything. Did I say something wrong?
March, you're so dumb.
Miss March is right. I don't have the skills to share the General's burdens at the moment. Still, I'll do my best to follow his instructions. Let's go. Once I've taken you to your accommodations, I need to go to the Artisanship Commission to handle the IPC's protest.
He looks like he has a lot on his mind. We can't just let him go alone. Why don't we accompany you to the Artisanship Commission?
This is too much trouble. While I appreciate your kindness, dealing with the IPC's workers could be tricky. I'm afraid this will cause trouble for the Express.
No worries. We're pretty experienced in dealing with the IPC. You've heard of the 10 Stone Hearts? We've dealt with quite a few of them, right?
Drag all you want, but don't drag me into this.
Hey, who's bragging? Anyway, this time it'll just be a few ordinary IPC workers. Surely you don't think they'll be even trickier than Aventurine, do you?
Well, since you're willing to help, I won't decline your kindness. Let's head to the Artisanship Commission and meet them.
Alright. Yeah, let's do that. Okay.
Can I really reason with you Xianzhou people? I think I get it now. In your words, this is called looting a burning house, right?
But I am trying to reason with you here.
Oh God. Don't tell me. Okay.
That toxic voice sounds familiar. Haven't I heard it before in Aurum Alley?
You know what? This isn't my first time dealing with the Skyfaring Commission. I can handle your unreasonable ways. But straight up snatching IPC cargo, isn't that going a bit too far?
Just as I've said it many times already. Once we've inspected the cargo and completed the security check, you can be on your way. Is there something wrong with your ears, or is it just your brain?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. I'm thinking clear. And my answer is crystal clear. Not a chance. Keep detaining my cargo and I'll file a complaint directly with your general.
Sorry, everybody. Oof.
Don't think you can possibly convince me. Huh? Why are you here? You're staying on the Xianzhou, are you? What terrible luck. Wherever you go, disasters aren't far behind.
Wow. Wow.
Guest from the Astral Express. What brings you and Yanqing to the Artisanship Commission?
trouble? No, it's me. I'm the one in trouble.
I thought
Looks like
for a
you've
second
met
that
this
was.
IPC worker before. I'm not sure if that's a good or bad
For a second
thing.
I thought that was fucking Sampo.
I was sent here to deal with the IPC protest, Miss Shikwe. What's going on here?
As you know, this IPC transport ship was attacked by the Borisin and rescued by the Juming's diplomatic ship. Then the Cloud Knights were instructed to bring it back to the dock for repairs and inspections. And this is Mr. Scott, the person in charge of this transport ship.
Mr. Scott.
So, you're Scott. I've heard her mention you. Weren't you kicked off the Lafu before? Why did you come back?
Like I wanted to come back. I thought I'd just dock at the harbor for repairs and leave this forsaken place for good. Little did I know, as soon as the ship entered the harbor, a bunch of Cloud Knights showed up and snatched all our cargo from the hold.
What do you mean by snatched? I've told you 1,000,000 times. It's a security check.
Then why did you bring the cargo to the Artisanship Commission? You even brought in some shady craftsmen. It's obvious you're trying to steal the IPC's patented technology!
Listen here. Firstly, the Skyfaring Commission detected dangerous items that could possibly be weapons in your cargo hold. That's why they called me here, to double check. Secondly, where the heck did you get the idea that I'm a shady craftsman?
Even if there are dangerous items, what do they have to do with you? It's not even being shipped to the Lafu. We'll just fix the ship and be on our way. We won't unload our cargo here.
But you'll have to stay in the port for several days before your ship is repaired and you can take off again. How can we just leave unchecked items sitting here?
I understand, but we don't need to disassemble the cargo if it's just a security check, right?
In most cases, we don't. However, our scans discovered that the cargo doesn't only contain machinery, but also some substance that resembles biological tissue.
Biological tissue? Does this crate contain living things?
I'm afraid we'll need to wait for the Alchemy Commission for further confirmation. In any case, according to our regulations, we need to unseal one of the crates for further examination. But this IPC specialist has been hindering us on the grounds of patent secrecy.
The Alliance's regulations on biological products are very strict. Without further inspection, there is no way for the Skyfaring Commission to release the cargo.
Oh, really? Fine. If anyone lays a finger on that shipment, they'll have me to deal with. It doesn't matter if it's mechanical or biological. It's none of your business. I'm filing a complaint against the Skyfaring Commission's ridiculous regulations.
This Mr. Scott seems stubborn and difficult to persuade. Honestly, I really don't want to have a vicious confrontation with the IPC.
Oh, sorry. I'm more tired than I thought I was.
I heard how you helped Aramali. The IPC representative back then was Mr. Scott, right? Since you've dealt with him before, it looks like I'll have to rely on you again.
What are you guys whispering about over there? Just hurry up and give us back our cargo.
Dang it. Sorry, I did it again. Oh. Don't look over her skirt.
As I recall, this guy won't listen to reason and can only be persuaded with intimidation. But he does seem to follow rules to some extent. Let's use that against him.
Hydrate, you got it, Paris.
We have our own laws and regulations
Crap,
too.
I'm out of water.
According to Article
I'll do it in a
4
sec.
of
I
the
promise.
Cienjo Alliance IPC trade consensus, the Alliance and IPC
I'm gonna get some more water before I start Castle Crashers, and then I'll drink it then, okay?
property rights.
Hey everyone! Meet my old friend Scott. He's very talented, especially at imitating animals.
Fuck.
Stop it! Let's focus on the business at hand. What's the point in dragging up the past?
Oh, you're amazing! Can you teach me? Which animals can you imitate?
Just forget it. Even if we set aside the secrecy of intellectual property, these prototypes built by the Intelligentsia Guild are incredibly valuable, beyond your wildest imagination. If anything goes wrong, you won't be able to pay for it even with your lives.
Don't underestimate Cienjo technology. Even if they need to dismantle your cargo, the Artisanship Commission can easily put it back together.
Yeah, go ahead and brag about their skills. After all, you're just a negotiator they hired. But I'm different. I'm an IPC member, and my fleet has accepted this transportation order. Naturally, I need to be responsible for the integrity of every piece of cargo. Besides, cargo on this transport vessel belongs to the Intelligentsia Guild.
Jeez, what's wrong with me?
Inspect the cargo, shouldn't you at
Ugh.
least call in a member of the Intelligentsia Guild to be present?
According to the principle of territoriality, since your vessel is stranded on the Cienjo, the Skyfaring Commission has the right to inspect it.
Indeed. According to Article 27 of the Cienjo Legal Code, all official and private goods upon entering the port shall be subject to inspection. Failure to submit to such inspection shall be deemed equivalent to the possession of unlawful items and shall be subject to legal ramifications.
Huh? My synesthesia beacon must not be working, because I have no idea what you just said.
Simply put, if you insist on hindering the inspection, we'll have to treat the cargo as unlawful items and confiscate it.
When did this become Phoenix Wright?
Confiscate it? How can you Cienjo people be so unreasonable?
If this were pure point, and incoming cargo posed a safety risk, the IPC would take it in for containment and disposal, correct?
Fuck. Ah! Get all my tired out now before I play Castle Crashers.
That's true. But the IPC sometimes makes exceptions. For example, they've always given special terms to Xianzhou vessels. We both need to follow the regulations, because that's how the IPC and the Xianzhou operate.
Everyone has their own set of rules. Now that you're on their turf, shouldn't you follow their rules too?
Yeah, I get it. I know I'm on the Xianzhou, but if I violate the IPC regulations, I'll be in deep trouble when I get back.
Oh yeah.
Well, you guys sure know how to argue your case. Fine, I'll allow you to do the security inspection. It's just that, I need some time to sort things out. This is a big deal. Let me talk to headquarters first.
So, Mr. Scott, are you just stalling for time and planning to leave the Xianzhou as soon as your ship is repaired? To avoid the Skyfaring Commission's inspection?
Well, IPC staff are free to come and go, as long as they don't break any laws.
Yeah, you've got some insight there. Who are you again?
Hello.
Allow me to introduce myself.
Hello.
Cauldron Master and head of the Alchemy Commission on the Lawfu.
Hello, ma'am.
Could she be? Yeah, she's the new Cauldron Master assigned here from the Xianzhou Zhuming.
Oh, she's hot.
I received a report from the Artisanship Commission about cargo containing samples of unknown organisms. It said they needed help from the Alchemy Commission. I had nothing better to do, so I came myself.
Me too.
It's fine, Mr. Scott. If you really don't want your cargo to be inspected, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter? How can you say that?
Why are you being so nice all of a sudden? Well, since you're not going to check it, I'll take this crate and be on my way. Is that okay with everyone?
Yeah, sure. Why should I object? Not only this sample, but all the goods on the transport ship are yours to keep. Like I said, we won't inspect them.
Wait a minute!
Well, that's more like it. If only the young displayed a more reasonable attitude, we could have sidestepped that altercation just now. Our ship will leave in a few days once the engines are repaired.
Your ship can leave whenever you want, but I'm afraid I can't say the same for your cargo.
Ooh, I like her.
According to the import and export regulations signed between the Xianzhou and IPC, all biological shipments can only leave the port when they have confirmed to be of no threat, or when all biological activity expires. Since we can't determine if your shipment is safe for the environment, I guess we'll have to wait for its biological activity to expire. Let me check the previous cases. Normally, it'll only take around 47 star calendar years.
Only 47 years?
Why so surprised? You're still young and full of energy. I'm pretty sure you'll live a few more decades. Have some confidence in yourself.
I like her.
Typical of a long-life species, your words are dripping with sarcasm. While you may not care about time, I do. I'll be demanding double compensation from the Skyfaring Commission for every minute wasted.
Sure thing, Mr. Scott. You seem pretty confident that your career and life will last long enough to witness this victory unfold.
I like her.
Step aside, guys. Let them do the inspection.
But, Mr. Scott...
Come on, we're already in enough trouble. Just let them do the security inspection. And if needed, I can always grovel before the Intelligentsia Guild later. I'm just using my head for what it's apparently good for, right?
Thanks, bro.
Well, Honestly, at least you're not as annoying as that woman. Bro, just do the inspection.
This lady is really something else.
Yeah, she's hot.
Is this the IPC product?
Listen up. Any damages caused by inspections will be filed with the IPC.
Turn it off.
Not affected with terror grip attack caster. Okay. Alright.
Oh, how unexpected. That was a surprise.
Go. She's who I support for everybody.
Harmony and unison.
It's her alt. Use alt. Use her alt.
Tonight, souls shall lift. Stars echo.
Memories are ever changing. Beneath the waters lies an endless abyss.
Like fireflies to a flame. Light until everything burns to ashes! Fight to live!
What do you want to know? Ill fate descends.
You chose the wrong enemy.
Right? Maximum nut.
Ill tidings manifest.
Let's settle this.
Alright.
The dead return!
Here we go. Ah!
Bloom. Repay.
Ill fate descends.
Receive divinity.
Thank you. My throat is feeling much better.
Join the battle.
Right, that kick!
Memories are ever changing. Beneath the waters lies an endless abyss.
Maximum nut.
Destiny isn't chosen. Ill tidings manifest.
I hope for an end to strife in the world.
I'll see you off. Stand in position. Eternal sleep is not the dead return!
Right, that kick!
Were you seriously planning to leave this stuff unchecked at the dock for days? That's way too dangerous.
I had no idea about it. You must have accidentally triggered the cargo's defense program.
I don't think trying to shift the blame is a wise choice.
But seriously, I don't know why that thing suddenly started moving. I swear on the Amber Lord.
Enough. Miss Shikwe, please escort our IPC guest to the Skyfaring Commission.
I'm on it. Please follow me, Mr. Scott.
Alright. She's hot, though.
Gentlemen,
Lingsha.
our preliminary inspection shows that there is indeed hidden biological tissues inside. Just like the craftsman feared. I can't even tell if it's ingenium or biological in nature.
See that?
The core of this device is what they call wetware in industry slang. To put it simply, this machine operates with a kind of biological nerve as its control center.
I'll take some samples for the alchemist to analyze and figure out where the biological tissue comes from.
Why would the Intelligentsia Guild use such unethical technology? Perhaps they're trying to create a new weapon?
Whatever the reason is, it's probably why the Borisin attacked the ship. No wonder the IPC were trying to obstruct our inspection. I'll contact the Ten Lords Commission and ask the judges to come and give their final verdict on this. According to our rules, all prisoners and weapons involving dangerous creatures must be taken to the shackling prison for further sentencing. After all, it's the safest place on the Luofu. As for you, Mr. Craftsman, please go with the Cloud Knights and explain the situation to the judge.
Alright.
I had a feeling that the IPC members would cause trouble, but I didn't think they'd be this tricky. Thanks for your help, Miss Lingsha.
I should thank you for saving my life. Your sword skills were impressive, taking down that big guy. I thought the General's retainers were all burly martial masters. I didn't expect Yenching to be so...
You?
Can't argue with that. As for you, you must be the guests from the Astral Express, right? Saving the Luofu from that crisis. It's so impressive.
It wasn't a big deal. Really.
It's still early, so why don't we get some tea at the Alchemy Commission? We can discuss your suggestions for revitalizing the commission.
I'd be happy to accept your invitation.
And you three are coming too, right?
Tea with Lingsha sounds great. But, unfortunately, we're going to have to probably do that another time because it's time for me to get on with Castle Crashers. Just real quick, what I'm going to do is I'm going to claim these Gift of Gab and closing the opening casket. Then no words for the moon. There we go. Let me just see here. That's stuff, okay. Forgot to do this. So we're probably not here yet, yeah. Well, we'll get there. Oh, Nameless Honor. Got something. Okay, so let's see. These banners have... You get, how do you get, the new March, I wonder? Oh, I'm one off. I'm getting another one. Okay, well, that's fine for now. We'll do that another time. We'll try to get March, the new March. But anyways, I'll be right back. I'm going to go grab water and also get myself ready for the collab. So, see you all in just a little bit.